Greetings, my name is Batia, and I'm here to share with you information, tools, resources to help you become a powerhouse of prosperity. Let's go. All right, so if that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned, share, follow me for more. Okay, so today, this story that I'm going to share with you is about somebody you may or may not have heard of before, or you may or may not have heard of his backstory. Sylvester Stallone, right? And the movie of Rocky, right? The powerhouse, huge popular movie of Rocky, right? Sylvester Stallone has gone on to become, one of the most famous celebrities, right, that we have around right now. For many years, since like the 1970s, right? So this is a little bit about his backstory. And the way the story came to me was serendipitous, was like, in a spiritual, coincidental kind of way. So I felt like I needed to share this because this is a message from the universe to you right now. Okay. All right. So basically, it's about his rags to riches story, y'all. Right. But it's not just about money. Of course, that's very important, but it's about the fact that, we see these people, we look up to them, celebrities and people who have millions of dollars and things like that, or people who are just financially set. They might not have millions of dollars. They might have hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And we might seek to be where they are, but we might not realize, right, that they were where we might have been one time, right? Or where a person might be struggling at the current time, and they might think that they don't have it within them. But see, if you knew the backstory, right, of some of these people you admire, you will realize they're no different than you, right? They're no better than you. So let's get a little bit into the story of Sylvester Stallone, the man behind the Rocky Empire, right? So, of course, he started like a child, anybody else, like anyone else. He was born in New York City. He was a juvenile delinquent, y'all. Kicked out of several schools before the age of 15 years old, right? So there's some people might be watching this video right now like, dang, I didn't even graduate high school. I got into this, I got into that. Man, can I really make things of myself? My family's saying this, my family's saying that. Well, there are people who've done it before you. There are people who have done it. And this is one of those stories, right? So he was kicked out of a number of schools, so more than one school before he turned 15 years old. So he attended school in Philadelphia, right? My hometown of Philly, incidentally is where the Rocky movie was filmed. Studying drama at the University of Miami, right? So he went on and progressed through his schooling. But man, he had a hard life, y'all. He had a hard life. He moved back to New York and later to Los Angeles with dreams of becoming an actor, right? Now, a lot of people struggle with the acting dream and, they have to wait tables and do certain things, right? So the thing with Rocky, Sylvester Stallone, he had a challenging life. I read a couple places where he was actually homeless at one time. During the time where he wrote the Rocky movie, he was living in an apartment with his wife. He was so broke, as they say, temporarily out of cash, y'all, under broke, okay, that he had to sell his wife's jewelry, and y'all, he had to sell his dog. Did you hear what I said? He sold his dog for $25. I read somewhere it was $30. $25 or $30 he had to sell his dog that he loved very much, okay? He ended up buying him back later, but he had to, y'all, this man is a multimillionaire now, but he was in a place where he had to sell his dog so he can eat food because he didn't have food to eat. You hear what I said? There's no way you could tell me that you can't be financially set, financially secure, right? That you have to work a job, a 9 to 5, 11 to 7. You know what I'm saying? If one person has done it, it's done for you as well, right? So this is about tapping into that energy, right? So we all can be the most prosperous that we can be, right? So he was, that was like the worst. That was like his bottom, y'all. That was his bottom. And, his lowest point. So a few weeks after that, he went to watch a boxing match with Muhammad Ali, right? This was like in the 70s. and 1970s. And he was so inspired by this boxing match where this guy was fighting the great Muhammad Ali. He was an underdog, but he went round for round, I think like 13, 15 rounds, something like that, a number of rounds with the great Muhammad Ali. And so this inspired Sylvester Stallone so much that he wrote the movie Rocky. Y'all, he wrote the movie Rocky in like 3 days. He was already doing the writing, right? He studied at, like I said, the University of Miami. So he had those skills, but he still didn't make that connection, right? It's like you can have these great skills and talents yourself. Have you quite made the connection to connect to your prosperity just yet, right? So this message is for you, is saying, look, even if you haven't quite yet made that connection, you're going to make it. You're going to do it. Just continue to do it. Just like Rocky did. The man sold his dog for $25 so he could eat some food. You heard what I said? And then went on to become the great Sylvester Stallone. Had a blockbuster movie, right? So a little bit more about the movie thing. He wrote the script in a few days, shopped it around, but he wanted to star in the movie, okay? And if you know anything about Sylvester Stallone's voice, Adrian, he if he hadn't starred in the movie already, nobody was trying to give him a chance. You know what I'm saying? So in the 70s, they were like, look, we love the movie. We'll buy it off you. I think it was like for $300,000. Now, come on now. This man just, sold his wife's jewelry and all this stuff at a time in his life. Sleeping on a bench. Different things. And he was in a broke down apartment at this time. And, but he didn't want that $300,000. He didn't want that $300,000. I think that was the correct amount they wanted to offer him at the first time. He wanted to star in a movie. And so they wanted to buy it off. So he said no. Shopped it around a little bit more. He found someone who was interested, but they wanted to give him like $30,000, $35,000 for the script if he was going to star in it. He believed in himself. He said, look, yeah, I'll take that money. He ended up buying his dog back for $15,000. He sold him for $25,000. He had to buy him back for $15,000. Wow, the price he had to pay. But he knew that he had something. So somebody gave him a chance, gave him $35,000, put the movie out, right? They shot it, the movie on a budget of $1 million, and it grossed over $200-something million, y'all. And the rest is history, as they say. A man who was sleeping on a bench, because he has a story. We were looking at his backstory. I didn't even know his story was so dramatic, Sylvester Stallone. But he had talent, right? That's why I'm doing this video for you. He had talent. He had a dream. He had a vision. And he didn't give up. He didn't give up on the dream, the vision. He didn't give up on himself, right? And when somebody wanted to just, kind of take it and maybe undercut a little bit, right? They gave him a good amount of money, or they were promising it, but he wanted more than that. He had to believe in himself when other people was like, no, man, we don't like your voice. We're not too sure if you can do this, right? We're not too sure if your dream is going to work for us. So, just take this. Let us take it. We'll take it off your hands. He said, no, I'm going to go with it, right? But what are you doing? What do you have in your life, right? That's that small dream, that mustard seed that people may or may not believe in just yet, right? You may or may not believe in it just yet. But what is that dream? This is your time to start, or to continue, or to pick it back up again. This is your message to the universe, from the universe. And it will be to the universe too, as you do what you need to do, right? Because you'll be telling the universe, look, I'm trusting in you, right? And you gave me this idea. You gave me this talent. I'm going to go into it and do it and see what comes of it, right? Say you have a 9-to-5 job or something like that. Are you doing enough working on your dream, right, on the side, so that it can blossom? I just felt really inspired, like I said, to share with you this story. It inspired me. And the way it came to me was really, really interesting. I was at an art studio, and just the other day took a picture of the picture of Sylvester Stallone in his one of his famous scenes in Rocky. And just showing somebody I knew about art and the art gallery and stuff like that. And I was wondering why I was taking a picture of it, because I didn't want to do it at first. But I said, no, it's a piece of iconic history. Well, and we were talking about the movie, and the next day, someone else was speaking about it, and they told the backstory, and it was just such a synchronistic event. I said, I have to share this with people, because this is a message, it's a deeper message in this. What it's saying is it's time for you to have your Rocky moment. It's time for you to have that moment where you take that little mustard seed, right, that you believe in, that some other people may or may not, and you go with the universe, you trust in it, and see how far it's going to take you, right? You can do it. But this sign is a message to you that if Sylvester Stallone can go from living in a seedy apartment, as one of the articles called it, selling his wife's jewelry and his dog so he can eat, to becoming the writer of a blockbuster movie and a star and director of that, and going on to be a millionaire, you can have that version in your own life, right? Do you want to be freed from your job, right? What do you want to do? Do you want to pay off your home, pay off your credit cards, whatever it is, get a nice new car, whatever it is, you can do it. But you got to have that faith, yes, of that mustard seed. You got to believe in yourself, and you got to put that effort in, and the universe is going to do the rest, because that's how it works. So until next time, peace and love. This is Batia. If you like what you heard, stay tuned, stay with me. There's more. Let's go.